Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to 4Strategy Gaming, and I've got a StarCraft 2 commentary for you today. Today is going to be a best of 3 between EG's Puma and OGS MC. This is coming from the IEM. If it's a game you have yet to see, if it's a series you have yet to see, certainly look forward to it. Both these players very strong. MC, of course, known as quite the Protoss, very strong Protoss player, really needs no introduction. And also his opponent up here in the upper right is Puma. And I've casted quite a few games with him over the past couple of weeks, so hopefully you guys are getting to know him as well. Very strong player as well. He's, of course, on Team EG, Evil Geniuses, and with the likes of players like Idra, so pretty cool stuff. Obviously a solid team, and as such, I would have to assume quite the solid player. And based on what I've seen from him, again, certainly been pretty impressed. So yes, this is going to be the first game in the best of 3. MC spawning here in the low left of Zelnaga with Puma spawning in the upper right. And we'll have to see how this particular matchup plays out. Now, I haven't seen much of Puma's TVP. I have not seen much of that. I've seen a few series. I've casted a few series with Puma in TVZ matchups. His Zerg play certainly seems to be pretty strong, so I'm certainly going to be interested to see what he decides to use against MC. Are we going to see the typical bio-heavy with some Medivacs in the mix? Will he be throwing in some Ghosts there as well? Obviously quite essential. Dropping EMPs, very effective against Protoss play. Now, what are we going to see from MC? And this is actually, this is quite up to much more variation. A lot of times we got so accustomed to seeing just Colossus heavy play, obviously very strong against Bio, but more and more we're seeing some Archon focused play from Protoss players, and I've seen a lot of it from MC as well. And so I am really intrigued to see if he decides to go through with this. The big thing about Archons, obviously they start off as High Templars, and once Psystorm gets research, you're able to almost getting down that bunker before the probe scout for MC could get back in. But once you get that psionic storm research finished, you're able to lay down some storms and then move right into that Archon play. The great thing about the Archons, though, being massive units, they cannot be kited by those concussive shells, and that's really something that Terran relies on against the melee. I mean, it's not a true melee unit. It's got a small range to it, but it's relatively small. And without that massive unit, without that affix attached to it, then it could be kited by those concussive shells, the longer range there. So that's the major issue for Terran players, that since you cannot kite Archons, and with the splash damage they do, they're able to just get right up on your units and absolutely devastate. We can see right now MC trying to sneak out, but Puma dropping down that second depot and preventing him from doing so and allowing him to take out that probe scout. Now back inside the main of MC, oh boy, that Zell coming out right in time, getting a shot off there on the SCV. Weaving his way right through the mineral line, the Zealot in hot pursuit. But with that Chrono Boost going down on the gateway, it looks like Puma is deciding to head on out of the base. He does not want to face the Stalker and or Sentry that may be coming out. We can see it's a Stalker, but he didn't really know. Now back over here, Puma, very interesting. Going to be teching up. We can see that factory coming through. The bunker in and of itself is an indication of upcoming tech, buying Puma time to actually protect himself early on and get out whatever tech he decides to move up into. Now we're going to have to keep an eye after that factory, what he decides to drop. We also have a reactor coming down on this Rax. He did want to wait until he had at least these 3 Marines to sit right inside of that bunker. And here we go. We've got a tech lab coming down on that factory. Now are we going to see that starport following things up? I'm going to assume it's coming. Should be with this SCV. And there we go. Starport drop down for Puma. So we've got a Zealot and a Stalker. And actually, they might be able to do a little bit of damage to that depot. But no, Puma actually decided to sit back. I feel like that Stalker right here could have done some damage to the depot, but deciding not to. Maybe with the vision of the high ground, he would have been taking damage from that bunker anyway, so decided just to pull on back. Back over here, secondary SCV scout coming up for Puma. Going to be moving down the backside. He will actually get spotted there by the Stalker, and see you later. SCV scout gets taken out. Not a problem at all for MC. Very nice play. And look at that super quick Nexus. It looks like it will be a 3-gate expand, also coming out with that Robo right now as well. So expansion coming on through, about 50% of the way finished. That Robo just started just a few moments ago. We'll be picking up with an observer there, but we have got some Cloak Banshees coming out for Puma. So Puma starting off with that Cloak research right away, working his way up into those Banshees as well. As soon as he can afford that, should be very soon. It's not going to work so well, unfortunately, though, for him, because we do have these 3 gateways. We're sitting pretty Stalker heavy, I think. Yeah, well, the 2 Stalkers, I guess as heavy as he can get. We'll see what this next warp-in yields, but this Robotics is obviously coming out with an observer first. Given the fact that he saw that bunker, this is kind of what led him to decide to come out with that Robo right away. That's quite clear, just in case, he's expecting the possibility of those Cloak Banshees, but even if there's a Hellion drop, he wants Observer to head right on over. We're going to see where it's rallied right there, just so that he can see it before it hits. It'll probably only come about 30 seconds to a minute before any hit does actually go through, but still needs to give himself some sort of forewarning. So spotting that bunker, coming out with that robo, and preparing for whatever may come. Now again, with Cloak Banshee, since he's got those observers in play, he's going to come out with at least one. There's a second as well. That's going to be situated right over here at the expansion. He's going to have no problem at all dealing with these Banshees. We will see, though, with some micro, Puma could still do a bit of damage. We've got a follow-up there with the Raven. So actually just the one Cloak Banshee moving straight into Raven and then right into the Bio Heavy. We can see those 2 additional racks. Puma showing no signs of expanding anytime soon. Should be seeing a couple more attachments on here, unless he's just going to go, might go Marine Tank, Point Defense Drone, timing push. That could be quite effective. But interested to see that Puma decided with just the one Banshee to get that cloak research. It's a pretty big investment, especially since he's going to do no damage. So here we go, Banshee moving forward, cloaking down, but with that Observer, MC fully aware of what's going on. That's going to force Puma to pull all the way back. So nothing doing right there, unfortunately. Looks like the Observer did get taken out, though. Cloak detection from that Raven, plus these Marines, dropping that right out of the sky. Looks like we don't see anything else coming out of that starport right now. We've got pretty Marine heavy, some tanks coming out, and again with that Raven. So we should be seeing a timing push here. During or after that timing push, I will expect that expansion to come on through. He can't really stay on just this one base for too very long. In fact, he's going to be falling steadily behind. He will be trying to take out this Nexus, or at least do severe damage to MC. At the very least, trying to kill off a few workers or anything like more than a few, in all honesty. Now, unfortunately, this Banshee taking a bit of damage and sitting at 0 kills. Hopefully, a little bit of repair job so he can help in this timing push that's coming on through right now. So Puma getting ready to move across the map. He has got Siege Tech coming through. Bunch of SCVs as well. Very strong push right now. Heavy Marine. Again, he will be utilizing the Point Defense Drone from this Raven and setting up with some of those tanks as well. And how is MC going to be prepared? He does have 2 Immortals in play that should hopefully be used to target fire down those tanks. At least that is his goal. He is sitting somewhat anti-air heavy. The Stalkers specifically are going to be affected very much so by this Raven here, but here comes the push right now. Forward scouting with the worker. Very nice play. We've got also the scan going down for Puma as his forward scout, but this push is coming through. Now we've got a proxy pylon over there, and we'll see when that comes into play later down the road, but we have got siege research finished. So here we go, sieging up just in range of that Nexus, providing a buffer with those Marines. He needs to keep those Immortals at bay. And how is MC going to defend himself? He's at risk of losing this expansion right now. We got the Banshee in the mix as well. And MC not even bothering engaging, realizing he is far too outnumbered, taking the loss here. MC losing that expansion. Really nothing he could have done against that time push. He's ready right now to engage with that next warp in. Here come those force fields. Marines getting ready to engage. There's the Point Defense Drone. Trying to stop any repair on the backside of that siege tank. Marines doing as much DPS as they can. The tanks go down. We still got a lot of Marines though. That Raven for that cloak detection against that Observer. See you later, Observer. Banshee's in play here as well. There goes the cloak. There's a second Observer though, spotting the Banshee. That gets taken out. And Puma needs to be a little careful right now. He's starting to get outnumbered. A couple more warp-ins too, and he will stand no chance at all. We've got tank reinforcements coming though. At least the one Marine reinforcement coming out, trying to get up a bunker. That's not going to work at all. Immortals moving forward with those Stalkers, softening up those Marine numbers. But even without the stim pack, the DPS on those Marines, especially being so Marine heavy, is just nuts. One big thing right now that Puma's doing is he's continuously delaying this expansion from coming down. Does he have a transition in the works? No, he does not. I would like to see Puma with some sort of transition coming through, but not quite as of yet. And here we go, the push for MC moving forward. Immortals target firing down that tank right there. No more energy left in that Point Defense Drone. These Marines still doing quite a bit of damage trying to take down these Immortals. Certainly good targets for them. Low health, but not enough right now. Deciding to push back. He's a little bit outnumbered. Really actually a little bit bothered by the fact that Puma decided not to come out with an expansion during that push. That was a perfect time to expand. The fact that he took out the expansion of MC and delayed any additional expansion for quite some time would have been absolutely optimal right now. Raven heading back in this direction. Does not want to get sniped out by any of those Stalkers or that sentry there. Now we can see right now Puma again pushed back to his main. He does have a siege up, which helped him defend a little bit, but not sure if MC is actually going to be able to push at this point. Still pretty interesting opening and turn of events here for the early stages of the game. We'll be really interested to see where these transitions come for either player. Either player expanding. There we go. MC finally dropping that expansion. Puma though, oh my gosh, he's still sitting on the one base play. He doesn't want to go two base against, not looking to go two base against MC, at least at this point in the game. So we will be seeing Puma continuing to sit here on the one base, and oh man, this is pretty interesting. I don't expect this at all. This is not standard Really, I mean, that timing push a lot of times will come in conjunction with an expansion. It makes a lot of sense. Give yourself that strong economy after taking out your opponent's expansion, but that's not the case at all. And we can see MC rebuilding his Nexus. He also has that Twilight Council coming on through, sitting right now on the 5 gateways in the 1 Robo, way oversaturated at the main, but that is of course because he lost that natural expansion. We got a Banshee moving down, trying to do some damage. That's going to force these Stalkers to head back home and try to help out. This Banshee just sitting on 1 kill. Getting a second worker right there, and let's see, he's going to move on up and try to do a bit more. There are no observers in play. There are 2. He is coming out with another Immortal. Never mind. So the observer trying to move forward, and there we go. Finally within range. Target firing down that Banshee, and see you later. Let's take a look at the unit loss tab, see where both players are. It looks like MC is technically behind right now, but keep in mind, oh boy, this is like just risky business is all I'm trying to say here. MC getting up a second expansion. The fact that Puma hasn't even bothered to try to do so, very, very concerning. So he's coming out with this second push right now. This is going to be a second push following up after that first. And still no upgrades for those Marines at all. He's actually got an idle Marine sitting over here, pulling down with some more CV. So he's just trying it again. Hey, if it doesn't work the first time, give it a second shot. Why not, huh? I'm a little bit concerned about this, especially since we got that charge research starting. Depending on when this push comes, if MC has that charge research up, he's actually going to be okay. So here comes that push right now, moving across the middle of the map. The charge upgrade about a third of the way finished. We get some more Marines. Again, no stim pack. Without stim pack, charge Marines will shred through what Puma has, and I'm actually really concerned for Puma. Now, the big thing is, if he can take out this expansion and most of MC's army before that charge upgrade finishes, then he could still be okay. So here we go, setting up shop right now, pushing forward with those Stalkers first. That's a bit of a mistake. Here we go. Raven moving forward. No point defense shown yet. There it goes, right on top of those tanks. Immortals move forward. Target fire down. 1 tank. There's a second tank. And the 3rd goes down. And the 4th goes down. Puma's getting mopped up right now. I am not too certain how he's going to be doing here. Now those Marines taking care of the rest of those Immortals. And actually, there's enough Marines plus these 2 Banshees here in that Raven. And Puma could very well be taking out MC's expansion again. Those charged Zealots will make things a little more difficult. See you later, Immortal. Only got 1 shot off. We'll be starting to try to target fire down these production buildings, starting actually with this first warp gate, then working his way on up. The charge upgrade just about to finish. We got a few more Stalkers, and Puma, unbelievable. If he can actually do this, this would be unreal. We still got mining going off at MC's expansion. There we go, charge Zealots pushing forward. The DPS of those Marines, though, shredding through everything, and my gosh, those Zealots get taken care of so quickly. And those Stalkers forced to pull away from that point defense drone. And this is actually looking pretty scary for MC. Keep in mind, MC does have this expansion up and mining, but look at what's in his base right now. We got a couple Stalkers pushing back right now. Again, walking into point defense drone over here. The Marines continuing to engage. This is everything right now for Puma. He needs to kill MC or he has lost this game. We got MC transferring down to his Expo. Tank set up right here, but actually not in siege mode. If that was in siege, it would have started working on this Nexus. So that's a big problem right now. Marines, though, continuing to target fire down these Stalkers. We get some more Zealots coming into play. There's still a big Marine count, though. Zealots, unfortunately, in a very bad position. Not able to get us around at all. MC trying to do what he can. He is chrono boosting through these warp gates. Nothing coming out of this robotics as I would expect. And actually, he had a full surround on that tank with the workers. Killing that off. We got continuous Marines and Banshee streaming across the map, though. And oh my gosh, Puma inside MC's main. MC's got nothing else going on. He isn't mining. He's low on resources. Zealots pushing forward, though, engaging some of those Marines, taking them out. We got that 1 Banshee, and that's a big problem in all honesty right now. For you know, that 1 Banshee is a big problem for MC because he's got no anti-air at this point, trying to come with a Stalker, but that will get target fired down by those Marines. MC doing what he can to get us around, walking again into the point defense drone, and my gosh, MC forced to call the GG against Puma 1 basing. Crazy, crazy game. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Now keep in mind, this is a best of 3 series, so we will be moving on to game number 2 in just 1 moment. Puma winning the first game, though. Let's move on to game 2, guys. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.